Good evening, Yankee Mania fans. How's everybody doing? See, notice I didn't say good morning, so that's a nice way to start the program, everyone. Welcome to a very special Subway series, talking a nice round table with you and a couple of pretty good co-hosts that are waiting in the wings. So I want to wish, first of all, say hello to everyone. How was your day? No Yankee baseball today, so we all got a little break, and we are now waiting for that big Subway series. And what better way to get to start us off here? I want to bring up right off the bat, Mister Jason himself at 161 River Avenue. Jason, welcome, man. Thank you for coming on.
Evening, folks. What's going on?
How you doing?
Pretty good. How about yourself?
Not too bad, thanks. And also waiting in the wings, Jason, is Ken from The Ugly Truth. We're going to bring him on. How you doing, Ken?
Evening. How's it going?
Yo, Ken.
Good. Well, we're all here for one reason, guys. It's finally here. The Subway series that everybody around the universe is talking about. First of all, guys, just to dissect, what do you so far? What have you been your memories since they started in 1997? Want to go over a little bit. What's the difference in your mind? Have you guys ever been to a game ever? A Subway Series or whatever with the Yankees and Mets. I want to get your thoughts before we do anything else. Jason, we'll start with you.
I was at Game 5 when the Yankees beat the Mets in 2000 in the World Series. And that was a great game. That was in Shea Stadium. But I've been lucky enough to be in a lot of Yankees World Series games. I was at the clincher in 1996, the clincher in 99, the clincher in 2009. I've been lucky enough to be at David Cohn's perfect game, Jim Abbott's no-hitter, Dwight Gooden's no-hitter. So we're real fortunate to be part of some great baseball experiences with the Yankees.
Oh, yeah. Jason, a lot of people might, I don't know, I don't even know if you could remember, or you might have been very young when it first ended. But before we went into a Subway series, we had what they called the Mayor's Trophy game.
Yeah.
And that went on, I believe, till around 1972. And it was a very big event. Although I always thought that the Yankees never took that very seriously because, number one, they never really had the greatest lineup in there. And the Mets usually would win that. And, it was a nice happening. On a day off, it was the bragging rights of – and then all of a sudden when George Steinbrenner bought the club, basically it was gone, and I found that interesting. So I guess he just, the way George was, as we got to see later on, his ways. Now I know why there was no more. He wanted the Yankees to be fit and ready to go for something like the Mayor's Trophy game. So if everybody, guys, in the chat, John Beagle, Dad, how you doing? Stephen B, Jonathan. Just want to give a quick shout, Jacob Petruzzi, just to name a few. Thanks for coming on, and of course we want to thank Jason and Ken for being with us on this very special eve night before the first Subway Series game. First of all, Ken, your feelings on all the games before we get to until we get to this weekend.
I mean, honestly, I've never taken the Yankees-Mets series as anything other than a hometown rivalry. Right. I mean, if it's bragging rights, no different if you head down south and look at Alabama and Auburn football, or a number of states. To me, when it counts is when you're in the series. Last time the Mets were in the series was when?
2000 with the Yankees. They were in 2015 against the Royals, too.
Yeah.
So, it's been a while since either team has won the series. And that's where I think your true bragging rights come from. Is whoever's sitting at the top of the bump with the last win of the season.
Now, what about like with friends and family and all that? Who's a Yankee fan and Met fan, growing up like that. What were your feelings like the first time in 1997? I'll never forget that first Monday night when Dave Malecki shut out the Yankees. He really pitched a game of his life. I actually went the next day when the Yankees won Game 2, and then the next day Tino Martinez won the afternoon game in the extra innings. But the feeling was so different. I mean, it was like Yankees, Red Sox. It was just it was first the best thing ever. Now I believe Jason. I'm sorry. I believe it's died down a little bit, but this Juan Soto thing has really blown it up again. Are you in agreement with that?
I mean, to a degree. I mean, back in the day too, it kind of reminds me of the NBA in the Jordan years. It was a much more physical game, right? And just like baseball, they were allowing home plate collisions. Pete Rose, AJ Pierzynski, guys like that, and allowed confrontations to occur. Now there's so much protecting of so many facets of the game that it's taken away that suspense factor, at least in my opinion. And that's not to say it's not an exciting game. It is, but I like to see on occasion a bench clearing brawl or a crash at a collision at home plate, right? Something like that. And I like to see that stuff. Go ahead.
You must have loved Roger Clemens throwing what he thought was the ball of the bat with Piazza.
I was at that game.
Yeah, I mean that was incredible. I mean, unbelievable.
I remember Clemens hit. I think it was Kevin Pillar, and then Pedro Martinez. And once Pillar came back in the dugout, Pedro Martinez asked him, "Who do you want?"
Right.
That's what he said, and he wound up hitting Soriano and Jeter, and he sent them both to the hospital in the same ambulance.
Yep. That was an afternoon game.
The type of rivalry that existed back in the day that's really not allowed to happen now. You can't even argue balls and strikes now without getting thrown out of the game. So it's a much more kosher game now. And
it was funny though, watching the reaction of George Steinbrenner. He wanted to win those games no matter how you do it, when you do it, how you do it. You better beat the Mets. Now we don't get that, and we're not getting that feeling now. Although I think the Yankees have a little bit in their stomach, a little bubble from last year. I think Aaron Boone might have reminded them, hey guys, it's time. Let's go out there and let's do it. And so far, knock on wood, all considered, it looks like the Yankees will have a decent lineup out there for the first time in a long time in a head-to-head series since the World Series almost. I want to say hello to Jason Castiglio. How you doing, big guy? How's everybody? If you have any questions for either one of us, please let us know. So we're going to dissect now. Basically, let's talk about how even or uneven the teams are. So we're going to start with first base. So we're going to go with my boy Paul G or Alonso. Let's start. Jason, start us off.
Comparing the two, I think it's an even. The way that they're playing right now, I think even swap between the two. I like the way Goldschmidt's playing right now at the Yankees, but Alonso also hits the Yankees pretty darn well. So I think it's going to be an even comparison between the two. I think they're evenly matched.
Ken?
You're talking offensive aspect, Jason?
Yeah. Defensively, he doesn't hold the torch to Goldschmidt. Goldschmidt is 10 times the level of Alonso. But offensively, yeah.
So that's where we're going to talk is offense across the board then?
I don't know. Is that what?
No.
Well, I'm asking Joe.
Whatever you feel. I just want to compare the two teams on the field at this point. at this level.
Okay. Then I'd call it coin flip. They are both offensive monsters. Obviously, Alonso has more power. I think personally that Goldschmidt is more clutch.
That's exactly the way I feel. So what would we say? We're going to call that even?
Yep.
Okay, so that's even. So we're even. Second base. So, I mean, the Yankees, I mean, I guess right now you're going to say DJ LeMahieu right now or Vivas. And the Mets is a towing course because it could be what is it? Jeff McNeil. I don't know, Acuna Jr.
I'm giving the edge to the Mets.
Yeah, I would give the edge to the Mets also. Okay,
Yeah.
so we're 1-1. We're one tie and one Mets. Shortstop.
Mets.
Boy, oh boy, we didn't even hesitate on that one. Gee, no, you're right. You're no question about it. Hands down, he's probably one of the best leadoff hitters in the game right now, Lindor. I mean, we've got to give him that. So we're going to go 2 Mets and 1 even. Third base, guys.
Mets.
What was that?
Mets.
Okay, Jason?
I don't know who's playing third for the Yankees. That's the problem. So, Mets are probably going to get the edge here.
Yeah, it's either like you say, it's going to be. It could be LeMahieu. It could be anybody.
Plaza.
Piazza.
It's Reyes, Peraza. I mean, it's a hodgepodge. There's not a set player there.
Mm-hmm. The Mets could also put Beatty there once in a while too, and I guess they would still have the edge. No question about that.
I think Vientos is going to be their guy there.
Vientos, yeah. Now, although sometimes they DH him and then they put it's just to get Beatty's, but when he's hot, they usually play the hands. So okay, well the Mets get that. Catching guys.
Yankees.
You go Yankees. Yep. Okay. Although the better arm obviously is Torrance. You don't think so?
Don't care about the arm.
Well, don't you think that changes the game? If you have a hit and run, you throw the guy out, it's a double play, you kill an inning.
Who leads the game?
Aren't doing that well.
Who leads Major Leagues in pickoffs?
Max Fried.
True. Okay. But I'm just talking, pure. All right. So we're all in agreement that it's gonna be Wells behind the plate.
He's gonna be, and he's a better hitter than the other guys too. So.
Okay. All right. So we're giving the Yankees that one. Let's go to left field, guys.
Who's left field for the Mets?
Well, usually they put you put McNeil there. They could put Sterling Marte sometimes there. Those are your picks.
I'm gonna go even against Dominguez. I'm gonna go even.
Okay.
Same.
All right, but if the Yankees wanted to do a little different and they put Cody Bellinger in left field, then I think the Yankees would have it. I think right there, center field.
Yankees.
Yes.
Yeah, Grissom. There's no question in my mind. He has that with Marte or whoever they put out there. So we're going to give the Yankees that one. And here we go with the debate. Mr. Juan Soto.
It's not a debate.
Whoa. Wow.
Debate. Yankees.
It's not a debate.
Okay.
Not even close.
If you look at offensive numbers, Judge crushes Soto in every category. The guy's leading almost every offensive category in baseball. And you look defensively, Soto can't touch him. He's not even qualified to carry Judge's tool bag.
Okay, cool. All right. So you
like? I mean, depending on your alignment, if you play Cody in left field, Grisham in center, Judge in right, I think the Yankees sweep the outfield. Then it's a question of who you play at DH. Are you going to put Ben Rice down there, or are you going to stick Jason Dominguez down there?
Yeah, that's true. When you put it that way, Yankees are a better team. I mean, on paper, with those three out there, and Ben Rice as your DH. I mean, don't you think so?
The Mets have the advantage in the infield. The Yankees have the advantage in the outfield.
That's right.
Okay.
I think what it comes down to, and where the gunfight is going to be, is the rotation and the ability of the bullpen to stand up.
Yep.
I mean, each rotation is capable of knocking out the offense of the other team. Then it comes down to the bullpen. I like our back end of the bullpen.
Mm-hmm.
Diaz, you never can tell what you're going to get when that guy comes out one day to the next. I mean, sometimes he's fantastic. Sometimes he can't. He's a Droldus Chapman, can't find the strike zone.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think the Mets are really, really, and I think Jason, I think you'll agree, they're going to miss AJ Minter big time.
Mm-hmm.
That was their key signing along with Soto. They wanted him bad. They got him and never expected that he would go down.
He's top quality bullpen arm. I mean, they put a lot of bullets in there because of the inability of Diaz to throw it consistently.
Mm-hmm.
I am a little surprised that so far the Mets haven't take a bite out of David Robinson again. He's out there. He's he's an arm. I mean, I know he's 40 years old just about now, but he's out there. He's roaming around. Just like I can't believe J.D. Martinez is just rolling around out there. Obviously, he didn't call it quits, but I think somebody who might need a bat down the line, that might be on the cusp of making the playoffs, a wild card or anything, I would have to say, I mean, obviously, I'm sure he's keeping himself in shape. But, I really think that David Robinson is going to be with somebody. With all the pitching out there that it's down in the dumps, how can you not sign this guy? I mean, right now he's like a calling card. Like call for me, and I think I'll come and pitch for you. That's a little crazy.
I mean, looking at deadline capital for trades and who may possibly be available, that the pitching market is going to be ridiculous as usual, right. And it's going to be hard to tell who's actually sellers and buyers. I mean, if you look at standings now, most teams are within 4 games of the division lead.
Yep.
Parity is going to keep it close, so you won't know till the last minute who's actually selling and who's buying. And a floater like David Robertson out there would be a reasonable signing on a short-term deal.
And keep in mind, too, him and J.D. Martinez, you'd be getting him in an abbreviated season, so you'd be paying less.
Exactly.
It would definitely be a really good sign, any one of those guys. I want to, first of all, thank everybody in the chat and everybody out there watching and listening to the special edition of the Subway series here on NY Yankee Mania. Of course, you're used to seeing us in the morning at 8 a.m., but this is a special, and we were graciously so great of Jason of 161 River Avenue to take some time out of his busy schedule to come on, and of course, Ken from The Ugly Truth. I want to give a shout out to Max Coverage TV. How are you doing? Thanks for joining us. Again, the wraparound of this series is important to the fans. Let's talk a little bit about the fans. We have always been fans. We cover, we talk about it, but deep down, I mean, obviously we're always a fan. And, a lot of people ask me, Joe, how do you take the two, how do you break it down? I mean, yes, on your podcast, on your show, we all know you're a Yankee fan. But if you have to be professional, guys, how do you distinguish the two things without getting your emotions coming out? How do you do that, Jason?
Well, different. Would you mean Mets and Yankee fan?
Yes.
I just spend more time loving the Yankees than I do hating the Mets.
Okay.
We don't troll Mets channels. Mets channels troll us.
Yes.
I was about to say, I've seen more people coming in trolling on our channels from the Mets half than I see going vice versa. And that goes with the mentality that we've got 27 world championships under our belt.
Mm-hmm.
Have been one of the most successful franchises in baseball history, and the Mets have what, 2?
Yep, and have been in what, 5 World Series or 4?
4.
4.
So I mean, when you're sticking it out there, mine's bigger than yours. There's not really a comparison, and that's why I think it's such a big deal when they got Soto that they're trying to stick it in the Yankees' faces. And guys that actually analyze baseball and understand it thank the Mets for taking Soto because we're probably a much better team than we were when he was here last year.
Well,
We're first place without him.
I don't know if you guys get it. Possibly SNY. They have a guy on there who's also on WFAN by the name of Sal Licata.
Mm-hmm.
And I have to tell you guys, and I don't care. I can get criticized for this. I think he was very unprofessional on the way he handled the Juan Soto situation from day one. The minute the Yankees made that trade, that guy was on the air every freaking night. He's coming to the Mets. He's coming to the Mets. The Yankees are keeping him warm. And he went on and on and on and on.
You know what?
Is that professional to be on a network? And it's good to root. I understand that. And as much as people don't really like Michael Kay, a lot of people don't. It is what it is. He's a little bit more professional than that. He's not going to do something like that. Why is this guy who's hosting a very big talk show in New York City and a New York baseball show that's mostly I got to admit they do talk about the Yankees. But so unprofessional. I'm sorry. That is not right. And I just can't believe that they let that happen. And you just sit there, and we had to take that. And as people that want to get in the know, you had to listen to that. Do you know how forget about I'm a Yankee fan, but to listen every night.
You know what, Joe? The remote has an up button, a mute button, a down button, and an off button.
I understand that.
When you start getting aggravated, use one of the 4 buttons, and it's done.
But that just goes to show that how professional somebody like you guys are as compared to somebody who's on the air thinking that his and then he had the nerve as soon as Soto went into a funk. He never did that with the Yankees. What is he doing? Well, I can't believe this. Oh,
well, let's see. Soto had a better supporting cast with the Yankees. He was beloved by the Yankee fans. The park was suited to his type of swing with the power alleys. There are a lot of reasons why he really didn't go into a true power slump with the Yankees.
Mm-hmm.
And you have a supporting cast like actually a starting cast like Giancarlo Stanton and Aaron Judge, and you're sitting in the sandwich. Well, you got nothing but fastballs coming at you. What do you think's going to happen?
Of course.
He's a professional hitter. He knows how to hit fastballs.
And that's why, and not because you or Jason are on the show, but I have the utmost respect because you guys we tell it like it, forget about me, you guys tell it like it is. You are not going to sugarcoat this. And I know
Nope.
Jason has been with Jason. Kenny, I got to know you a little bit. First, I knew Jason. And listening during the time that he was a free agent, never once did he say, he's definitely coming here. There's no way he's going to go to the Mets. It is what it is. But that's professionalism. That's not junk.
Anybody who has the serious ability to do critical thinking saw from the word Jump Street that Juan Soto was about the bag of cash. Whoever offered him the biggest bag of cash is where he was going to float. If the bag of cash was in Colorado, he'd be a Rocky right now. If it was in San Francisco, he'd been a Giant. So whoever gave him his cash and his props was going to get him, and the Yankees weren't going to do that. They offered him probably more than they should have as far as salary is concerned, and it wasn't good enough. So be it.
Yeah, 400 million more than Judge. 400 million more than Judge.
Right.
Exactly.
And do you hear Judge crying like a baby? Oh, I only got 300 million. But this guy, his mother gets a new outfit every time she comes into Citi Field. Jason, is that ridiculous or what?
Yeah, it's that special perk, special treatment. That's what you want, then go right ahead and enjoy that with the Mets.
Now, if the Yankees didn't give Jeter a suite, they didn't give Aaron Judge, Mr. Everything, a suite. Why do you deserve a suite? Why? And on top of that, we're giving you $760 million. Does this make sense?
You know what? The bag of cash is fine. We'll see what happens in the postseason. That's where if Soto's going to establish a legacy, he's going to do it in postseason and for the Metropolitans.
Mm-hmm.
There's a point I want to make out with somebody in the chat. First off, Jake Boss, thank you. You know you're going to bed. Very, very, very nice of you to come on for a little bit. Soto was great here. We're better overall team without him this year. Thanks, Jake Boss. You're 100% right. But I wanted to get to, there was a point that John Ferrazzo had made, and basically he's been watching the Yankee baseball since around 1969, and he had told me in a chat offhand. Actually, he won the $25 certificate from Amazon, right. And he had said, basically that Juan Soto, in his opinion, after the 5 years, will ask to come out because the Mets are not going to win a World Series. And he goes dollar for donuts. In that fifth year, he's going to opt out for more money because he's only going to be 30 years old.
But they can block the opt out. I mean, it'll depend on what Cohen wants to do. They pop him the extra $4 million a season, bringing its total up to $800 million on the contract. He can't opt out. He's just stuck.
Well, Jason, if I'm not mistaken, isn't he getting like 800 with the $50 million signing bonus?
No, the signing bonus he got was 75, but it's included in the 760. It's not 760 and then 75 on top of it. Just like the Yankees would give him 60 million as a signing bonus, that would have been part of the 760. Jeez. So his was 765 with the Mets, but all these other kickers that Ken's talking about, that takes him over 800. So
right.
Performance kickers.
No player deserves the suite. No, you want the suite? Maybe we'll give you, but Jason, guys, if you're making $700 million, you can't pay $1,000 for that.
And something to keep in mind too, like he's not the one that started this trend. Shohei Ohtani was.
Exactly.
I just gave him $700 million. They gave him $300 million more than Mike Trout, and they started this whole new level of threshold. So, which gave. And I said this, as soon as Ohtani got it, I knew Soto was going to match it because he was represented by Scott Boras. Yes. I said it for the entire year. So,
and then Vladdy Jr. gets his big bag of cash without ever having to trust into free agency. Tucker's going to end up getting his bag of cash. Mm-hmm. The list of players is long, and it's going to continue. And that's why I think that we're heading for a strike, because the owners are not going to want to keep on paying these ridiculous salaries out for these guys that are not true five-tool players to begin with.
Well, I don't really want to pay $35 for a hot dog. So
that's right. I mean, I mean that's 100%. I mean, let's face it. You take a family. I mean, Jason, yourself with your family, you take a family of 5.
Yeah,
The-
if I
the
take my wife
Yankee
and my girl
Stadium-
to a baseball game, it's $1,000 easily, and go and get halfway decent seats at the Yankees. And it's like going to a Broadway show, $1,000 easily, and then we haven't even eaten. We haven't drank anything. Like none of that stuff. That's just to get in the place.
See, and I mean,
Crazy.
I can afford it, but somebody like my son who's got my 2 grandkids, you're talking a month's worth of pay for him to go to 3 hours worth of baseball. Ridiculous.
My wife and I were looking at tickets to see the Yankees in the Baltimore Orioles at Camden Yards later on in the season, and that was, I don't know, $180 for field level, which is like a third of the price it would cost at the Yankee Stadium.
Exactly.
So
we have a new person in the chat. Hi, Jake. How you doing? Let's read this statement. I'm a Mets fan here, just popping in here. I'm happy he signed, but unfortunately, Soto doesn't really seem happy being a Met. His whole attitude and body language seems off. Well, I don't know. Let's dissect that a little bit. I mean, listen, in all fairness, he did get off to a very lousy start. That's number one. And he doesn't have Judge, but let's face it, Alonso's been as good. I mean, I don't say he's Judge, but he's there. So I don't want to hear the excuse that, oh, he doesn't have Judge right now. Alonso made his life a lot easier. So why aren't you hitting? So it's just one of those things. But yes, I don't necessarily agree that he's not happy as a Met. I'm not, Jason. Do you guys believe that? I mean, maybe you'll hear that in 5 years, but right now I don't believe that.
The thing that fans I constantly say don't take into account is when you switch a team, there's an adjustment period. There's a honeymoon period.
Right.
You don't just walk out and start hitting your baseball card right off the bat. It may take a month or 2 for you to get regulated to the new field you're playing in, the dimensions. It changes. It changes the way you hit, and the people around you change. In the end, Soto's probably going to be at least as good as his baseball card numbers are. And he'll go through a hot streak, and he'll go through a downtime too.
Yep. He's now going to be now come the expectations with that contract too. They never had before. So,
and I also want to mention to Jake and being a Met fan, you'll never find Ken the Ugly Truth, Jason 161 River Avenue, or myself or anybody else that's on any of our cast bashing the Mets. What we do is we analyze and we tell the truth. And if you ever listen, go take a listen to not only Jason, but Ken's Ugly Truth. He'll dissect everything about the team and all of that. So you are more than welcome. Believe me, you're more than welcome here. We will talk about the Mets. Let's face it, we are Yankee fans, and we are going to root for the Yankees over the Mets. But what we will not do is bash them. They're a professional team. They're a New York City team, and we have to. And everybody has to respect them because that's what we do. Jason,
well, I mean, there are several things that you look at. First of all, we don't do talking points. If you're gonna talk facts, critical thinking. Mine's bigger than yours isn't a fact. We let people have opinions. Everybody's free to express opinions. The things that I won't tolerate is racial slurs and personal attacks.
Exactly.
But I sit there and I deal with numbers. I present everything that's actually sourced and confirmed.
Mm-hmm. And I can attest to everybody. I have never heard any bashing. If it was known that somebody was doing something stupid, then we try to dissect it, but we never bash anyone. So everybody is welcome, and try and I'm not singling out you, Jake. I'm thanking you for coming on, and I hope you come back for the weekend with everybody. Everybody's going to be on one way or the other, and we're going to enjoy this Subway series, and we're going to talk back and forth. So I want to thank Jake and any other Met fan or any fan of anybody. We are here to talk. We're here to have a round table, to have fun, to express our feelings. Jason?
I was just going to point something out. You'd asked originally what difference between Mets and Yankees. One of the things that I noticed, and I don't know if you guys noticed this too, like when Yankees, somebody hits a home run, they do they pat each other and all this stuff, but they don't do the Hulkamania belt. They don't do the wheelbarrow. They don't do the leather jackets. They don't do salsa dancing and all that stuff. And like Soto seems to be not with some of the Mets celebrations.
You know, it's true. That is darn true. I was noticing that. Yes,
it could be a disconnect between him and the Mets. Maybe he celebrates and does all that stuff, but he's not flashy in that way.
No, so, you brought up. That's a great point. Ken, I know you, because of the fact with other things going on, you don't really watch Met games a lot, but what Jason just said was amazing. He's absolutely right, because the other day, I think it was Alonso had a big hit, a big homer, and he was just, he was just there and he just gave the hand or whatever, but he did it with Aaron Judge though.
They got thrown.
Yes.
He has his own handshake with everybody, but they don't walk around parade, with the Thor hat like they do in the Angels, the leather jacket like they do in Toronto,
or the freaking trident in Seattle, which I freaking hated.
Like and this is why I like the Yankees no frills when it comes to this stuff. Like that's why I like them not having their names on back of their uniforms. That's why I like the no frills approach of Paul Goldschmidt. Nothing flashy at all. The dude just straight up blue collar.
Well, then that brings the next question of last year's Mets. What did you think of that whole thing with what they were doing, and they would go out in the field and start singing and all of that? How did you feel about that?
It doesn't faze me because I didn't watch them anyway. So, but they figured out how to have fun in their own universe, and that's the way I look at it. That type of stuff doesn't really faze me.
The thing that did amaze me, and I don't know if you guys were watching it closely, but their attendance last year, nobody believed in the team, even when they were winning. 20,000, 25,000, and I don't want to hear about the weather. It was July and August. I know 100%. The upper deck was like a ghost town from the third base line to the first base line. They were ghost towns. And even this year, the weather's not that great. I understand that. But they're not exactly coming in. They said on SNY, the ticket sales are through the roof. They're going to be sold out every game. Jason, Ken, I don't see it. I'm sorry. They could be phantom people. Maybe we're blind. But don't tell me that you sold all these thousands and thousands of tickets. You still have empty seats.
The thing that's funny is the Yankees just at the new stadium just cropped 50 million fans in a very short period of time. The 2023 season, when the Yankees were freaking horrible, you look at the stadium, there's not a seat available. It's full, always. Yep. And that's what I call true fandom. Mm-hmm. It's not a real fan if you show up when they're winning and doing great and turn your backs and crap on them when they're not. Mm-hmm. I mean, we had, as content creators, looking last year when the Yankees went through that ridiculous slump, all you saw was trash coming from creators. Fire Boone, fire Cashman. We need to freaking sign this knucklehead or that knucklehead. Everybody had an opinion in all different directions. But when you looked at the stadium, it's packed. There are fans there. Mm-hmm. They just wanted to see the team play.
Yep.
I agree. And then you have we didn't even touch yet on the umpires. I think we're all in agreement that they stink this year, and they're getting worse and worse. Now, I don't care. That's the way I feel. I'm sorry. They are not up to par anymore. not like years ago. And you know, one thing, I don't know if you guys ever thought about this, but I was thinking about it the other day, and I was looking at a lot of video of American League games in the 70s, the 80s, and some in the 90s. Do you know the outside chest protector protects that strike zone? Because he can't go down that deep. So he's going to be level with the catcher, with the pitcher, and there was a lot less arguments on balls and strikes. The other way, he goes all the way down. He's in the catcher's backside.
You know what?
He's seeing the ball go up, down, this way, that way. Now with that chest protector, that thing is up. You can't go anywhere.
In the military, you recertify and do annual training. These umpires go through a little umpire school. They may have a little bit of spring training, but they're not really retraining. They're doing the same thing. They've got to do something different, because when you have such varying strike zones that are inconsistent, it changes the way that people play. During spring training, I enjoyed seeing that damn ABS system pulled out. And when the numbers came back, you know, it was 54% of the hitters were right and 51% of the pitchers were right. So you're talking half the calls that got challenged were straight wrong by the umpires. And you know, they have websites that grade umpire calls, and when you see guys that are calling accuracy on balls and strikes at 80%, that sucks.
Mm-hmm.
That causes guys like Judge to swing at sliders that are blown away because he knows the damn pitch is going to be called for a strike if he doesn't.
Yes. But do you guys agree with me about I mean, maybe you didn't think about it too much, but I've been studying it. And then also the umpires, you know, even up to the middle 90s, they were they were entertaining. You had a guy like, I don't know if you guys remember Ron Luciano, and he used to be an out, and he would go like this, you're out. They had, not only were they good, but they had fun. They entertained the fans, the home crowd, everything. Now it's, ooh, leave me alone. Don't come near me. And if he has to throw a guy like Judge out, he'll do it. In the meantime, 45,000 people didn't come to see you. They came to see Judge. Mm-hmm. What are you doing? What happened to this game in some of these areas? We don't touch on it, but you know what? It makes a lot of sense. It was a lot more fun. It was everything. And they've taken that away from the fan. You know, I feel lucky that I got to see a lot more, it being stable years ago than it is now. I love the game. I will do anything for the game to make it better. But I don't know. Maybe I'm old-fashioned. Maybe I'm an old prude. But I think that the art of the game has changed. And Jason, you know, I know you're young, much younger than me, but whatever you've seen or you've seen in videos, do you agree with some of the things that I'm saying here?
Some of the human element has been taken out of the game, right? And which is why, to Ken's point, and even to Max's point too, with the system making games only a short bit longer, they've already shortened games by about 30 to 40 minutes. So I'm okay adding another 30 seconds if we can make umpiring better, right? But I do agree with Ken. Retraining, this is something I've said too. They have to retrain themselves, right? And continue to evolve, just like the hitters have to adapt to their strike zones. These guys have to adapt to put forth better strike zones, right? Judges, just because Judge is 6'8", you know, doesn't mean stuff that are balls to everybody else should be strikes to him. So, and it's that type of stuff where these fluctuations of strike zones are so drastic that it causes a lot of frustration in the game. So, and last thing I want to do is take the human element out of the game. But I do think the abs is, you know, I'm not a fan of the robot ump replacing people. No, but I like the, you know, ab system and the replay and, you know, and those types of things. I think it's going to bring efficiency to the game, especially since they're not retraining umpires. No,
I'm telling you, you know, it's so different, and most of us are lucky that we got, you know, listen. We saw people like Don Mattingly. We saw, of course, we saw Mariano Rivera. We saw Derek Jeter. That Yankee fantastic team. I'm sure everybody in the chat right now saw that 98 team. We may never see a team like that again. They had everything. They may not have had the superstar, but they had stars. And that's how you win games. Everybody contributed. Every man on that team did something. And
well, and that comes from coming up in the minor leagues, a lot of them playing together, establishing rapport, understanding the dynamics of how each player played. And when they came up to the majors, they already knew each other. It's not like it was a new experience for all of them. And if you look during the last dynasty years, the people that mainly got imported to the Yankees were freaking pitchers.
I agree. Are you kidding? I totally agree.
I mean, the term core 5 and core 4 is there for a reason. And I think that this Yankee team is starting to develop a very, very solid core. And when these guys actually come up, the payroll is going to drop like a freaking brick. And then we can afford to bring in some of the pitchers because we're not great at developing starting pitchers for some damn reason. We can fix every bullpen arm on the planet, but can't get starters working right. Maybe this crop with like Ben Hess and the SEC pitchers will change that story. But usually we're not in a great position for drafting pitchers, especially under the thumb of the Cohen threshold BS.
Yep.
It's not a cap, but it is. Where are we drafting this year? 29?
39?
39. Yeah, okay. They go through the whole first freaking round. And
we draft in the comp round. The comp round after round 1.
Exactly. We're not even drafting in the first freaking round because the Yankees try to improve their team and try to improve the organization while bucking out shitloads of cash to people or teams that pocket them. I'm so damn fed up with that whole system to begin with.
The teams that spend are the ones being penalized.
Well, I mentioned earlier, guys, that I'm not concerned with AA and single A. I'm very concerned that if the Yankees have to go deep down into AAA, guys, there's really not that much. There's slim pickings there. There's former major league players that are trying to get back into the major leagues. There's, I've noticed the last few days some AAAs have gone back to AA. So there really has been a big problem with that. And by the way, guys, we have a surprise guest coming up, and I think you guys all know him. And I'm going to put him on right now. Thanks for joining us.
Hey.
Look at this, NR Media. How you doing?
What's up, Jason? What's up, Ken? Hey, Joe.
Hey, nothing. How's it going?
Sorry, we were covering the Somerset Patriots today, and we had a doubleheader today at Somerset. So it was a 4:00 game and a 6:30 game, and George Lombard looked pretty good. So
yeah, he can run. He can definitely run.
He can run the bases, and he looked pretty good. But Joe, thank you for having me for the first time on your show. And obviously, you guys you have two legends right here, in Ken and Jason, and
I can't ask everybody.
You're doing a great job yourself. I love what you do, and you guys are, like I said, we're all, like you say, we're all family, and Jason and Ken, they're the best, and me and Jason did a few shows together before a long time back, and and Jason does great with his stuff. 161 River Ave. And Ken, in my opinion, he's fit for Yes Network. We got to put him on the Yes Network. Ken, you're a great play-by-play guy, and one of the best out there. So,
well, my wife said that I do a great job calling play-by-plays, but when I get pissed, I can't use the F-bomb on national TV. I get fired right off the bat.
I think I have to take over sometimes, but me, I just get excited and I just call it like it is, So I get the fans excited. So I'm a rookie in all this, guys. I mean, I have the radio background, but this I don't. But I'm learning from the best, and I very comfortable. And you know what? I owe a lot to Jason because he's the one. When I first started and I approached him with this, he says, something, you have more than when I started because he was doing certain things, and it was all brand new to him. He said, "You come here and you just ad lib, and you could just do it," and that gave me the confidence.
I had the big whiteboard that I was doodling on and writing on for like a year. Remember that, Nathan?
Yeah. Jason had a whiteboard behind his on the wall, right? On the wall.
Yeah, I was like, here's my trade proposals. And I was like,
Hey, Jason was all on top of it, man. He's
totally no frills.
To be honest with you guys, I was hesitant of going on by my own, so I was like, and I wouldn't say begging, but I was like, please, somebody come on with me. Yeah. And then Jason calls me up and he says, Joe, what are you worried about? You do a very, very nice job, and as you get comfortable, you're going to do an even better job. And you're ad libbing, and we know that you're not reading on anything; it's coming through. You know, you have years and years of, and the same thing with Ken. He has the knowledge. You know, we can go back to the 70s. We can go. I don't want to say our age. We're not that old, but we're not as young as you guys. But I can tell you that we spent a lot of wonderful years watching this team, and you know, the little knowledge. And I'll tell you, I enjoy. I don't know if you've caught any of my morning shows, but I love doing the morning shows for everyone. Yeah, I think it's a great way to start the day. And I've gotten people telling me we don't have to watch ESPN anymore. Those repeats, those reruns, we got to go through before they talk baseball. It's like a half hour. We got to go to work. But you give us insight. You tell us about the team. You break news, whatever it is. And you know what? If I can make one person smile, then I've done my job.
Yeah.
And that, you know, that's just the way. So my hat comes off to all of you, and you and for you, but by all means, and I like calling you NR because I think that fits you very nice.
Yeah.
And I thank you for taking an interest and taking my phone call when I called, and I really
NFE is the one who connected us. So shout out to NFE also. But by the way, my team has been helping him and other content creators getting guests for their shows. So shout out to NFE. He's doing a great job, and he's part of the family too. And before we go any further, actually, let me announce that later. I'll announce it later.
No, go ahead. You got the floor.
Yeah. So
before you do it, welcome TC Seals. Thanks for jumping into the stream. Appreciate you being here, brother.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much.
What's up,
I know
TC?
he signed up today. Okay, so what's your announcement?
Yeah, so as you know, that I'm a PR manager for the show called Job of the Mouth out of New York. With Jabba Chamberlain and Nick Goody, two former Yankees pitchers.
Yes.
They're part of the show too, and I'm their PR manager. I handle all their stuff and book guests for them too. And I'm trying to pitch our show to other people now. And we just got picked up by Blue Wire Podcast. So we're part of Blue Wire Podcast, and that's one of the biggest platforms. So they have Cam Newton's show on there. Cam Newton is part of it, former NFL quarterback, and you got a whole bunch of big names, former players with shows on there. So I like to say that we got picked up by Blue Wire. So another step for Job on the Mouth, and they're currently our show is currently live. There's live streaming right now with Jabba, and then I'm gonna try and get Jabba and Nick Goody for you guys too. So I'm working on that. But so I just want to mention that we're part of Blue Wire now. So
congrats, bro.
Congratulations.
Great job, brother.
Thank you.
You definitely, I mean, you've put a lot of work into it. The first time I met you and talked to you, very, very impressive. As each and every one of you all have the backgrounds, and it may not be the your number one because we all have other things, but at the end of the day, it's something that we love and we put our hearts and soul in, and you could see it from each and every one of us. And I'm not tooting my horn, but I put a lot of dedication because I love the fans and I love you guys, and that's just the way it is. That's it. And I want to make sure that everybody's safe and
Yeah.
and and are ready to go. And what are your thoughts on? Did you see Efros tonight? How did he
Yeah.
throw?
So he pitched game one. NFE is in here. What's up, NFE?
Oh,
Feel better. Also, yeah, he said he has a headache. He had a headache, but yeah, feel better, NFE.
yes,
Yeah.
feel
So yeah, Scott Efros pitched the first game of the doubleheader today, and he looked good. He got two ground balls, and I think it was a flyout. But yeah, so he looks pretty good. His command looked good. His his feel for the mound looked good. So I think I mean, obviously he still he needs more outings and reps
Mhm.
at 10% before they decide to bring him back. But that's another potential arm for Yankee fans to look out for. To help the bullpen even more. So, but he looked pretty good. He got some ground balls, and it was a quick inning too. So he didn't give up any runs. So that was good.
So nothing. Who do you think has worse luck as a Yankee pitcher, Scott Efros or Brubaker?
Oh my God. Oof. I think both of them. But if I have to choose, I think Scott Efros. Because Boo Baker was a recent signing, right? After Efros, so I would say Efros because he hadn't has a chance to be like a full Yankee yet. Obviously he got some time, but we haven't seen the full Efros yet. So I would say Efros. So,
by the way, I like Jason's shirt there.
really?
Spider-Man.
Oh yeah,
Right.
Spider-Man. Yeah.
By the
Right.
way, this is I don't know if you can see it, but this is our good luck lamp.
Yeah.
It's got all the championships of the Yankees, and they
Nice.
want me to keep it on. I can't take it off, and it's just that way. Period. But we have all these cards. Actually, my cap was signed when I retired from my job about 8 months ago from Tino Martinez.
Let's
He
go.
was nice enough. Yes,
That's my
he was.
guy right there. Tino Martinez is my
Tino.
guy.
Yes, they are great, and I'll tell you, it's just been a whirlwind, and to put time and effort into this, and any one of you, and I've told you all individually, if I can help you guys, I'm a phone call away, I'm a text away, and you know where to find me, especially 8 a.m. in the morning. So everybody knows that. By the way, before I forget, Jason, how is your daughter feeling?
Oh yeah.
She's she's sleeping now, but she's been puking quite a bit today. So
Oh my God.
she must have a stomach bug running through or something like that. So
I hope. Wishing her a speedy recovery.
You give
Thank
her
you.
a big hug from Uncle Joe.
Right now she's sleeping, so she's gonna sleep in my bed. So my ass is getting kicked to the sofa tonight. So
Oh wow.
she'll be with my wife. So I got sofa duty tonight. So
I understand that sentiment exactly. And guess what, Jason? When you get old and you have grandkids take precedence in the bed over you.
Yeah.
It never ends.
Oh yeah, no question about. What are your feelings? What is your feelings on the Subway series? And who do you favor, if anybody?
Obviously, the
If
Yankees.
you want to be truthful, you don't have to come out. But who do you think has the edge?
I mean, the Yankees are playing good baseball. Even the Mets are playing good baseball. So this is a great matchup. But I'm going to say, obviously, I'm a Yankee fan, so I'm going to say the Yankees. But it should be a good series. Obviously, Juan Soto returning to the Bronx. So it's going to be interesting to see how the fans react to that. I think we're going to see a lot of boos. I think mostly boos. And then cheer. Some cheers. I don't know, but mostly boos for him. But so it's gonna be interesting. I can't wait for the series. This is the most anticipated Subway series, I think, in my opinion,
In a
so
long
in
time.
a long time. Yeah. So I think the Yankees. Obviously, if they. It's gonna be a battle. I think this series could be all games could be close games and down to the wire, in my opinion. But it should be a great series. Get your popcorn ready. Can't wait. I think this is gonna be an anticipated series, and I can't wait.
Expect a lot of Met fans in the Bronx too. There's gonna be a
lot of Met fans gonna be in the Bronx.
They find their way.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
This weekend is gonna be a party central in near Yankee Stadium. It's gonna be a raucous crowd.
Tomorrow you got the Knicks.
Oh, Knicks tomorrow. Yeah, Knicks game 6.
Game
Also,
6.
yeah.
They have to win tomorrow. If they win tomorrow, I can't see them winning back in Boston.
Yeah,
He's-
they
Yeah,
gotta close it out
tomorrow,
tomorrow.
yeah.
They have to close it out tomorrow.
I don't see why
Well,
not with
for
3,000
you Nick
fans.
fans, I hate to disappoint you, but it's going back to Boston.
Oh God.
But they're missing one of their best players, and you're going back to Madison Square Garden. You think it's easy to play in that? Believe me, I worked there for a long
Hey.
time. It is not easy to play there.
We're missing Garrett Cole and Hill, and
Yeah.
guess what? We're playing and we're still winning. And we just went to the West Coast and kicked their butts in 2 different series, 4 out of 6. So hence, on the road makes no difference. If you're a professional athlete, you know how to get it done no matter where you're at.
Yep, that's true.
I want to give a shout out to TC for nice meeting you, Joe. Welcome to the crew. That's so nice of you. Thank you so much. And like I said, I always listen to you guys. You have you guys have an opinion. You guys have an opinion for the show. By all means, talk to me. Let us know. I'm open. My stream is always open. I'm sorry.
You guys know Jim Ross, the now announcer for wrestling.
Yes, cancer.
Yeah, so my prayers and thoughts are with him, wishing him a speedy recovery. So yeah,
I don't know if you know it, but I do wrestling, and I'm on the verge of a podcast that's going to start right before SummerSlam.
Mm-hmm.
I've done a lot of things for the WWE in the past, WWF. I also did a radio show with the ex-champion for many years, 4,000 days, Bruno Sammartino. Bruno was one of the greatest.
Yeah,
One of the greatest people you ever wanted to meet. He was so accommodating, and he was awesome. I also went to so many big events in the beginning: WrestleMania 1, WrestleMania 2, 3, 10, the first SummerSlam, the first Royal Rumble, and I was covering for a magazine here in New York City, and so it was fantastic. Getting to meet the people, and believe it or not, guys, the bad guys are the good guys.
Mm-hmm.
The good guys are the ones you don't want to talk to, and that's how that all went. And I'm really hoping that when that starts, I hope you guys take a listen, and because if you like wrestling, you're gonna like this unique show. Trust me when I tell you.
I was at one also, Joe. WrestleMania 1 at Madison Square Garden.
Ooh.
Oh, isn't that great?
Yeah.
Liberace came out and Billy Martin came out. And the only thing I didn't like about WrestleMania 1, because they didn't know too much, they rushed everything.
Mm-hmm.
They were just, for her first match, 3 minutes. One match was 9 seconds. And before you know it, it came to the Hogan match. And that was the whole big deal.
Against Iron Sheik.
And Vince McMahon came this close to closing down the WWF. That like literally this close. And it all worked out for him. So it was a lot of fun.
John,
so you shout out to everybody.
Yeah.
Wrestling. We do get wrestling questions here, by the way. So, but again. So the bottom line: are we the four of us? The Yankees take at least 2 out of 3 here.
Mm-hmm. I feel confident.
Ken?
Yeah.
I'm not confident. I think it's going to come down to the bullpen. Either way, whoever's bullpen performs better is where it's going to land.
Dev Finch is saying, "I can't wait for the new channel, Joe." Thank you, Dev. I know you've been a true fan, and I really appreciate that. Thank you. And believe me, we're not going to disappoint, and you'll be part of it. Trust me when I tell you that. Jason, what do you think?
I think the Yankees are catching a break because we don't have to face Kodai Senga or Clay Holmes. The Mets have the best ERA in baseball with a 2.84 team ERA, and we don't have to face the 2 guys that contribute. We're also not facing Sean Manaea. So
Right. Tomorrow's pitcher for the Mets is what?
Yankees.
Trevor McGill tomorrow, I think.
Trevor McGill.
Who's the Yankees tomorrow? Who's the Yankees tomorrow?
Carlos Rodon.
Oh, Carlos Rodon. Okay.
Yeah. He just has to keep his cool no matter what he does. Just keep that cool. If he gets a bad call and all, we were, we were talking about this before you came on about umpires. I know you're young and all. Did you ever see a live game where an umpire with the chest protector out in the American League? Did you ever see any of the games? If you ever look at a video, to me that makes the world of a difference.
Like with the thing out more out, you say?
Because when that baby was out, the umpire had to go level with the number, like let's say rest in peace Thurman Munson, right here. But with the way he goes now, he goes all the way down. How can you possibly know if that's a ball or a strike?
Right, you can't tell. Yeah.
The other way was level. You were level to the pitcher and the catcher. That's when you know the strike. You know the strike zone. You cannot realize what a real strike is. I'm sorry. You know it's there, but it's not true. And that's why they look ridiculous when you put the machine on, and I bet you 70% of the time they're wrong.
Yeah, I think in my opinion, I think it's a good idea to have it a little like what you said, a little further up. I think, but sometimes you can't tell if it's a ball or strike because sometimes it can obviously get it wrong. But I don't know. It depends. I think it's a good idea to have it out, but some umpires don't do it though, right? Like most umpires don't do it.
Right. You're right. Most. Hey Ken, we have a question from John Ferrazzo for you. Hey Ken, tell that to Brunson. The series is over tomorrow. He's going to put up 40 points.
He's going to be doing this. He's going to be doing this tomorrow. Look right here.
We'll see what we see.
Well, I'll tell you, he's going to be John. I'm sure he's going to be watching. Well, I know he's going to be watching the Knicks. I know he's going to be watching the Yankees. And if the Knicks win,
New York City is going to be wild tomorrow. A whole bunch of people, Yankees, Knicks fans, Mets fans. Oh my God, it's going to be crazy.
Oh, it should be.
The cops are going to make their money tomorrow. The cops.
So it's going to be a rumble in the jungle then.
Yeah.
I think it'll be a lot of fun. I'm sure there's standing. I understand there's standing room for about I think 1,000 people tomorrow night. So, I mean, it's just going to be wild. It really is going to be. And the most that I really hope for is the Yankees really come out roaring, have a big inning, have a big first inning, and it'll make it even more juicier. It'll be a lot of fun. I just hope that they can control. What scares me is Alonso and always Brendan Nemo. Nemo, he always scares the hell out of me. Once in a while, he's just unbelievable. He could look terrible, and then all of a sudden he looks like he's one of the best hitters in the game. So again, we'll see. It'll all happen, and we're all covering it, and we're really looking forward to it. So. And also to let you know, you are invited anytime on the show, NR. Anytime you want to come on, you are more than welcome. You are family. And, with Jason and Ken, and of course, Mr. Sickman tonight.
Yeah.
We need him back. We need the strike zone back.
Yep, NFE.
Shout out to you and everybody that was in. And remember, everyone, as you see it scrolling, press the like button, subscribe to NY Yankee Mania. Never miss anything. Notifications. You'll know when we're live, like tonight, a surprise live. Well, I'm so happy that a lot of people saw that. And it was one of my first ones. And it's only going to get better. And there's going to be so much to talk about and have a lot of fun with, especially with professional people that I have right in front of me. So, again, I thank everyone. How about some final thoughts, unless somebody has anything else to say? NR, you want to go first since you're our major guest tonight?
I just want to say, obviously, keep up the great work, everyone. Ken, Jason, Joe, and Feast, and everybody in the chat. Always thank you guys for the support. Let's go Yankees. I think it should be a great series this weekend. Obviously, and let's go Knicks. Big games. Hopefully, they can close it out tomorrow at the Garden. But tomorrow should be fun. Friday night, obviously, people are going to be hanging out, having fun. So that should be cool to see. And also, we got a couple events coming up this weekend. And
Jazz. Whoever is in the Woodbridge area, Chaz Chisholm is gonna be at Woodbridge Brewing Company. That's sold out. That event is sold out. So a lot of things happening. Jason Jambi will be at Woodbridge this weekend. Ben Rice will be there. And then we got a couple other events in different venues, so keep an eye on that. So, but keep up the great work. And Joe, thank you again for having me. And we're working on some things for you, so stay tuned.
Oh, thank you so much, and your team. Wish Java Chamberlain all the best.
Definitely.
Yeah. And I hope he's doing well and his family's doing well.
He has a full beard now, but he lives in Nebraska. So whenever we do the shows, he comes virtual from Nebraska. But so I'll let him know that you said what's up, and I'm going to see if I can get him for your show, and anybody else wants him, we can try and get him for you. Even Nick Goody's. I don't know if you guys remember Nick Goody.
Pitcher.
That'd be an honor.
Yep, he's part of the show also. So we'll try and get him on for you guys too. So.
But we have the double play. You come on too. There's no reason why you shouldn't either.
Yeah.
So it's absolutely, this is family. This isn't, you do the favor. No. You did it. The least we can do is, say thank you the right way. And if you want to come on, you just come on, man. I don't have to tell you again. That's it. The invitation is open always. And I thank you so much. This was a nice surprise. I'm very, very happy that you came on.
Thank you.
Jason, your words.
I'm in agreement with Ken. I think it's going to come down to the bullpens. I think he's right, and I think it's going to come down to the pens. I think pitchers are going to keep the games close. I think the hitting is going to be strategic. There'll be a couple of breakout performances, but at the end of the day, I think it's going to be the bullpens probably going to be working pretty hard this series. Mm-hmm. And thankfully they're off, on Monday as well. So
well, they're definitely gonna need it. And then Texas comes in, so it's still, even though they're not playing all that great, it's still not.
No
my friend, my guy Brett Boone, the new hitting coach for Texas.
Yeah, Aaron's gonna have a good time.
Yeah,
that's gonna be a rivalry. So everybody's prediction here basically is am I hearing this right? 2 out of 3. Mm-hmm. Yankees win the series. Ken, your final thoughts?
Well, it's going to be an exciting weekend. Those that may be attending, act civil, please. Don't throw stuff on the field. Behave like actual adults, because there's no call for it. They're out there doing their jobs, trying to do the best that they can on both sides of the fence. All I want to see is good competition and umpires that actually call the balls and strikes and don't have to go to replay reviews every time a damn runner touches first base. But it'll be a good thing. And tomorrow on the Ugly Truth, we have a pre-series review at 1:30. So we'll be going over some numbers there. And at 7 o'clock, Joe and I will be doing the play-by-play on the Ugly Truth there. So drop by, say hi, listen for a bit, or stay for the whole time. We appreciate it. Enjoy calling it for you and like the conversations. Thank you. And thank you for everybody who supported the NY Yankee Mania by dropping into the chat. It's most appreciated.
We appreciate all of you.
And by all means, I know you guys are busy, but Jason and everyone, Sunday night, Saturday, I'm not sure what's going on, but Sunday night, the ESPN game, Ken and I will be doing it here on NY Yankee Mania. So again, you're more than welcome to come on. The more the merrier, and I'm just looking forward to it. So I'm going with 2 out of 3 of the Yankees. Tomorrow night's a key. I think that Aaron Judge is just gonna step up like nobody stepped up before. That's my prediction. That's what I really feel. So in ending, everyone, remember tomorrow morning we're gonna have Coffee, Bagels, and NY Yankee Mania with me. Have your coffee, everything ready, and we'll again dissect everything we talked about tonight. I'm sorry if you missed the show, but we'll go over it, and of course you can watch the tape version of it in a little while. I appreciate everything you guys have done for me and for Jason and for Ken and our big guy over here, our new superstar, NR. I hope you don't mind, NR. I like calling you NR.
Hey, that's fine. Yeah.
And of course, we can't forget the strike zone.
Yeah.
We missed them. Get better soon, man. We want a nice panel. We want this to be all together as a family. So get better soon, please. So tomorrow morning we'll see you at 8 a.m. sharp. Anybody? I know it's a little bit early, but everybody's got to go to work. Everybody goes wherever. So don't forget about us. And then go right to Ken in the afternoon. And then, of course, to Jason, are you going to do anything live, or are you going to? What are you going to do? The lineups? What are you going to do? Do you know yet?
I always do the lineups, but my live availability is determined by the little ones.
Okay, and now what about a post game? You're still up in the air with all of that?
I usually do the post game. So
okay, just want to make sure everybody knows. That's all. And if you again, I don't have to say it. If you guys can do anything for us over the weekend, I'd really appreciate it, especially Sunday. If you guys want to do something a little bit earlier in the afternoon to dissect the game for nighttime, that would be great. So thank you again. And again, shout out to
yes. Uncle Tats. Stephen B brought up. Yeah, shout out to Uncle Tats at Prince Type Chronicles. There's another channel you guys should follow. Shout out to them. They do a great job.
Mhm.
They're gonna be. I guess they're gonna be on 10 a.m. Eastern tomorrow. So tune in there too.
Okay, so they go from one to the other. Thank you, Stephen B, for that. I appreciate that. Yes, without a doubt. So with all of that going on, thank you. I'm glad you went to cover. You went to go see some good baseball tonight. By the way, did they win both games? No, they lost the first.
They won They lost the second. I mean, they lost the first one. They won the second one. But the first one, keep an eye on this pitcher, Cam Schiller.
Yes.
Yeah. So but he didn't. He had a decent outing, but he gave up 4 runs, but he struck out 8 batters.
I know he was lost the first
machine.
3 innings.
Yeah, he's a strikeout machine. But keep an eye on him. He's a good pitcher. He's up and coming pitcher. Game 2 was a really well pitched game, 3-0 shutout. So really well pitched.
Sounds good. So in closing, Jason, I hope everybody's feeling good at home. Same thing with I know Ken's wife is away, so hopefully he doesn't play a lot of games, my man. And also, thank you again. I want to say, I'm sorry.
I have a 4-year-old grandson. There are no games to be played.
Well, I mean a good game. I'm kidding with you. So again, everyone, thank you so much. Have a great night. Love to everyone. And always remember, love everybody around you, because that's very important. God bless America, and God bless all of us. Good night, and let's go Yankees. Let's all say it, guys. Let's go Yankees.
Let's go Yankees, and let's go Knicks. Let's go.
There it is. There you go. Have a good night, everyone.
Yep.